Zach Merrett going to be a premiership player for the Bombers?
I'd love him to be, because I genuinely like Zach Merrett. I think he's just been a star for that club.
Has he got the club's best interests at heart?
Do you think he was wrong by asking to rejig his contract?
Well, I think he got paid because he was a good player, and if they want to bring in good players and play finals and win premierships, that they need the money to do that.
Yes, no, I totally agree with that. And I know Cornsey had a little bit to say about that.
Well, let's have a bit of a listen, because he had actually a bit of a take on what the Cats used to do, but I was just interested that St Kilda came in with an offer, and all of a sudden Essendon were happy to up his money. But this is what Kane Corns had to say earlier this week.
Let's pick Jimmy Bartell. If you spoke to Jimmy Bartell when he was winning Brownlows and premierships at Geelong, can you imagine the offers that Jimmy Bartell would have got from other clubs? He would have been significantly underpaid. In fact, I'd hate to think and know what Jimmy Bartell would have been. Or pick any of those Geelong players. Pick Stevie J. Pick any of the Guns, Superstars, Chapman, all of them. They all would have been underpaid. Do you think they went crying to the club because they could have got more money elsewhere? No, they didn't. They stayed at that club. They played for less, and they have one of the best resumes that you can have in football, and all the memories and all of that. Now, they don't have the riches of that they would have got, but they played for Geelong, who pay their players fairly.
Well, on that, it's nice in hindsight for that to be the story, but I bet when you were playing, there were players going, you know what, I wouldn't mind a couple of extra bucks. Any chance you could squeeze $1 my way?
Well, of course there were. There would have been a little bit
So you're
of talk.
telling me that not everyone was happy to take less?
No, who is happy? But you do it for the good of the team, because you know the success is going to be there in the long run.
Yeah, but was there any players?
Oh, I'm sure.
I'm not asking you to name anyone, but is there any players that thought, you know what, I'm actually getting a bit hard done by, and had their nose out of joint a little bit?
It probably wasn't so much hard done by at the stage. It was probably, there was a couple of blokes, one in particular, when he was asked to leave the football club, he was a little bit dirty that, I'd given up so much for this club, and
yeah, which again, I guess
wasn't too happy.
I guess that makes sense. If let's not name names, but let's think of guys who may have been asked to leave, and they might have taken less, like most did or all did. And then all of a sudden you go, righto, you've made these sacrifices over the last 10 seasons, and
now it's time for you to leave.
Now leave.
Yeah, so there was a little bit of that by the end, but during the moment, no, I don't think there was too much.
All
but
right.
yes, we're back on your Zach Merrett point. It is very hard when you are playing at a poor football club, and I say that as in results, and you can become selfish. And I've seen that with other clubs and other players.
So you're saying right now that Zach Merrett is selfish?
I'm just saying you can see why when you come through that environment where you haven't had team success, all of a sudden individual success is the main priority.
So he's an individualist. So
stop trying to twist my words.
Mate, I am reporting on what you are saying to me. You have said,
unfortunately, when
not a team
you don't
player,
have team
individual success,
all of a sudden the individual success becomes a little bit more prevalent, and that can hurt clubs in the long run.
Well, I think that's where the effect of it just continuing to happen comes into place.
No,
because
exactly right.
all of a sudden, when Zach Merrett finished his career, if they don't have any success at Essendon, those other players are doing the same thing as they come through, and you don't get anywhere. And I guess that's the point, and I guess that's the point that Kane Corns is making. Well, Geelong players could have done the same thing.
Well, Steve Hocking was a big, when I used to talk with Hock about this, he goes, mate, we were, through the 90s, we were extremely selfish individuals. That's why we didn't win, because we had guys wanting to have this and that and the other. We weren't a team.
Yep.
So it does happen.